Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. I am excited today because I've finally gotten my hands on something that I've been trying to get for a while, and we'll talk about why that is. It is the brand new Urban Decay Quickie 24-Hour Concealer, and I want to put it on my concealer spectrum, which I'll explain, try it on, and let me also tell you that we are currently doing a wear test. In the middle of this video is the demo or application. Of course, it's brand new then, and I am 4 hours into wear right now, so I'll make sure to do quite a few close-ups. I have concealer under my eyes. I have set it with a little bit of powder, very little bit of Haus powder, so that you know that is under my eyes, and then I have some around my nose. It's been 4 hours. My lipstick is brand new for this video, but that's it. And I have it in little spots on my face. 4 hours in. Right now, a wear test going on right before your very eyes. Okay, so let's talk about why I was excited to get this. When this new Urban Decay Quickie 24-Hour Concealer, multi-use concealer, first came out, I think they told us it was available in Europe, and those of you in Europe can tell me if that's true. And it was teased on the Sephora site here, and it was teased on the Urban Decay site, but you couldn't buy it. There was no option to buy. All the shades were there. It was very strange. It was teased over on Instagram and whatnot, but you could never quite get it, and I didn't know why. Finally, it just poosh went up on the Urban Decay site, and a few days later it's now available on Sephora here in the United States. And it created a definite FOMO, fear of missing out, in me, which perhaps was their intention. So I grabbed 2 shades in case you are my shade twin, or some of you always know you're 2 shades darker than me, 2 shades lighter, however it is that you go. This is, I picked up 2 shades, the 30NN, which is a light neutral that we're going to use today under the eyes, and the 40NN, which is the light medium neutral, which I have used on the rest of the face. And as you see, I look fine, but I do think that this 40NN light medium neutral should have been my lighter shade, and then I should have gone a little bit darker. So these are appearing to run very light. The light medium neutral, that's this one here, 40NN, is a tad bit light for me. It ends up working out just fine. As you see, it doesn't look like I have a polka dot face or anything, but it's a bit light. That's just my all right, so I have a concealer spectrum because I have a theory from working in the beauty industry for as long as I have on the editorial side. I have a theory that one cannot just say a concealer is good or bad, but one can only say it's good if you like such and such and not the other. We don't tend to like both sides of the concealer spectrum, do we? The lightest concealers are things like the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric, a favorite of mine. This Clinique with the little brush is, and this Dior, which I hate because it creases like crazy, but they're very light coverage. Let's see, the Say is getting a little bit more, but it's also still light coverage. Then you have something like a pure favorite of mine. I love this one. This is that new Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Concealer. That's moving towards the middle range in terms of thickness and spreadability. And then, of course, all the way over to the thickest side, and you see me making this face because it's not really my thing, but I'm gonna surprise you, so stay with me. Moving all the way over to our thickest concealer to me is the Pat McGrath concealer, the KVD Good Apple concealer. To me, these are very thick, movable concealers that also cake. And you could put the Too Faced Shape Tape in this category, those of you who really love a full coverage foundation. And to me, you have to work with a very little hand. This Pat McGrath, you've got to do a little bit, and I can't. Because I'm always in a hurry, you guys know me, and so it ends up caking on me, and I never like these. I like the thinner concealers that I can just go to town with, and it's foolproof. That's just personal. Okay, so where in the world does this go on that concealer spectrum? This is actually a pretty thick, full coverage foundation, but spoiler alert, so far in this wear test, I like it. And I'll tell you why. I say this during the demo. This feels to me what Shape Tape should have been like. It's thick, but I almost felt like when I was using it, that I was using one of those. I'll have to insert a picture. Do you guys remember those whiteout tape things, you know, like where you lay down the tape and it doesn't move? That's what I'm saying, what Shape Tape should have been like. It's just like laid out a tape type thing, and then I kind of was able to pat it in. The selling point that they feel about this is that there is a washable brush on the top which you'll see me use in the demo and then not use in the demo. I'm not a huge fan. It's washable, which means it should come off, right? Am I just too weak? I'm not able to get it off. Do they mean it's washable? Like I'm going to hold my whole concealer in the... You guys can tell me. Maybe I'm just a bit weak. I'm not going to be using it anyway. I like the flexibility of a concealer brush. So I'll tell you that right now. Not a huge brush fan, so I guess I won't have to clean it anyway. Let me just show you what we got here. We have a nice, big, thick bottle here and a nice, big, thick doe foot reminiscent of our DR Forever concealer. That big doe foot means this would be really nice over just maybe some tinted moisturizer to just cover, any blemishes and under eyes and a little bit more. Whenever they give you a lot of nice product like that, a big doe foot, it really feels like it's begging to be used as more than just a concealer, and I appreciate that. I think we won't be able to do a 24-hour wear test, although some of you I know need that, but I am definitely trying to do at least 8 hours, and we are 4 hours in, and with a little bit of that Haus Labs powder, just a teeny bit under the eyes, I feel like it is not settling into lines, and I feel like my eyes look brighter and more awake, which is a trick of the eye, literally and figuratively, because I am not very awake today. I admit to you. All right, let me show you me using this, and you'll see what I mean about my shade, about these running a little bit light, but you can tell me what you think, and then I'm gonna go away. I actually have other videos to film. So you're going to see the wear test in progress and not even know what's happening in other videos. And then we're going to come back in about 4 hours from now and film the ending. So let's go to the demos. Okay, I'm not trying to scare you at home when you're seeing me with just a base on. I have a little bit of the Makeup by Mario foundation on, still a firm favorite, but I have no concealer. And I have to tell you, lately, especially since the holidays, a lot of stress, not a lot of sleep. It's showing. I have deep darkness here on the inside of my eyes, and I'm always looking for something that will cover it. And lately, it just looks like some sort of light stuff on top of dark, cavernous holes to despair. I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation, and as always, the redness around my nose. So let me get my mirror here, and let's experiment with the 2 shades that I got, the 30 NN Light Neutral and the 40 NN Light Medium Neutral. Let's go ahead and do a lighter shade around the eyes, and I'm going to use this little spongy, but I also brought over a Sonia G Fusion brush because I don't know if we can trust this one yet, do we? Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay. All right, lighter shade. I'm not going to do this side of the face. And I'm just doing here. There's a lighter shade. All right, let's try this supposedly washable sponge. Okay, very, very thick. Oh, very, very thick. Very full coverage. Don't love the sponge that much, so let me go ahead in there with a much more flexible Sonia G brush that I can tell you right now I prefer. Okay, so, woo, this is interesting. Oh, I kind of like this. So I was immediately on first examination going to say, oh, it's a bit too thick. But this is interesting, and I'll tell you why. This is really interesting for a first impression. All right, let's look at my 2 eyes now. And of course, this is looking very bright. It's too light of a shade purposefully. I wanted to brighten things up, and there's no other makeup on, so keep that in mind. This eye has absolutely no concealer, and this eye has a little bit here and here. It goes on like the way that I always thought Shape Tape should and would, but I found Shape Tape so thick and uncomfortable. This is a very full coverage, and it paints it like a piece of tape. That's why I brought up the Shape Tape reference. So bright that I'm actually seeing brightness under my eyes. You can tell when you have something dark right here on your face because you can kind of peripherally see it. I am peripherally seeing this lightness here, which is very interesting to me. Not in a bothersome way, but I mean, it has definitely put some, I've never been able to peripherally see concealer. Does that make sense to you all? Okay, so that is interesting. And here is my darkness on this eye with nothing on it. And here is the covered up version with this very, very interestingly kind of thick. Is it settling into lines? Maybe a teeny bit, but nothing shocking, for the fact that I have lines there. We can't deny that. All right, let's go in here. Ooh, had to use a little muscle there, and take this light medium neutral and just kind of go around my redness on my nose. This is the side where I have some hyperpigmentation, and I'm just kind of dotting it around. Am I going to use this brush? Let's try it again. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's too stiff. I am perhaps spoiled. This is a little bit of a light shade. It's okay. I am perhaps spoiled, but I do like the flexibility of the brushes I have. So I guess I can spare myself having to wash those. Okay. This looks like it actually would be a kind of a good concealer for no makeup days, because it really does lay it down. It's a little too light, but it really does lay it down almost like foundation would. All right, a little too light, I know, but let it kind of sit, and I'm going to put other makeup on. I'm actually okay with that. But check it out. So this side of my face has only foundation, zero concealer. This side of my face, the nose is concealed. Let me look at that. Okay, so we have some redness on this side. There's nothing on that side. This side has concealer and concealer over the little marks and such. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go off camera and finish my makeup. And I am going to set under the eyes with a teeny bit of powder. This feels to me like it will need a teeny bit. I'm not a powder person, but I think it needs it a little bit. And then we are going to go as long as we can. I can't go 24 hours, but I have some other videos to film and such, and I'll get on with those, and then we'll report back to the full face of this. So stay put. Okay, we are 8 hours in now. Here's what I have touched up. I have put some more gloss onto my lips. This is the Patrick Starrr brand new lip snatcher. So I put some more of that on, and I've put a little bit more sparkly eyeshadow on and a little bit more mascara just on the edges. That's it. I have not touched the complexion, and here we go. Take a look. I have not added powder. I have not added blush. Nothing like that. I am supremely impressed. I would say that this, without the powder, it would sink. It needs the powder under the eyes a little bit because it's thick. Without the powder, it might sink just a little bit into fine lines. I can't help it. I have some fine lines. My children make me worry about them. It gives me fine lines. It's their fault, right? Not mine. Goodness knows. So I think it needs a little bit of powder under the eyes. It is not powdered on the rest of my face because I'm not really a powder person. But under the eyes, just a little bit, just a smidge. And I think it's holding up beautifully. I am not usually attracted to thicker concealers. And I'm not seeing that I'm going to change my way. I feel this is a thick concealer where you can still use a lot of it. It's kind of the best of every world for me. Usually thick concealers, you have to be very sparse or they will cake. I went to town with this one, as you just saw in the demo, and I don't have it caking on me or looking too heavy, so I am quite pleased. But I do want to tell you, I'm okay with the shade choice, it's fine. But as you saw in the demo, I think they're running a little bit light, so do keep that in mind if you are ordering. But a very, very pretty product. I have linked it below at the Sephora. I've linked it below at Sephora, but let me know if there's any other links that you need for your shopping pleasure. But a very, very pretty product, and I think it's going to be super reliable for those caverns of dark abyss that I do get underneath my eyes. Again, let's blame work and children. All right, so tell me what you guys think, please, because we are a community and I want to know what kind of concealer you've been using, and if you're thinking about trying this, and if you think you would use this silly little sponge on the top, maybe on the go. It's not my thing. Tell me what you guys think. It's what makes us a community. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. Hey, if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. It really helps us grow. And come say a big hello over on Instagram and on TikTok too. And do remember that you can support the goings on here by either becoming a member or by giving super thanks. But in any way that you choose to participate or even sometimes participate, I am grateful, and I am looking forward to seeing all of you, I hope, in the next video. Bye-bye.